Good morning, everybody. This is JD. Today I'm going to do a video about some of my personal feelings and about how I feel about the job of President of the United States. First and foremost, I'm going to talk a little bit as if I was Commander-in-Chief. What do I feel about being President of the United States if I was Commander-in-Chief? Well, before I send anybody overseas, I would know what they're going through. I did 26 years in the Navy, and we've done a lot of deployments. Some were peacetime, some was wartime. I know what it's like to leave home, to leave your wife behind, and be going on a deployment. I know what it's like to stand on the elevator of the the aircraft carrier, and looking out over the sea, wondering, why am I here? This is not where I want to be, but this is my job. I know what it's like to work 20 hours a day, constantly. A lot of people think that these sailors, when they go out, it's just party, party, party. It's not. It's work, work, work. You have only 2 days when you're deployed on a naval ship. That's in port and at sea. When you're in port, depending who you are, what type of character, depends on what you do. I got to see a lot of the world and meet a lot of the people. At sea, it doesn't really matter much of who you are. You work until you can't work no more. Then you go to bed, and then you get up and you work again until you can't work no more. And believe me, there is no bowling alleys on aircraft carriers. At least I haven't found any yet. So, I know what it's like to know when you leave, you're supposed to go off and you'll be back at a certain date. And before you even get to the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, you've already been extended. You go where you're going to do your operations, and I know the difference between peacetime operations and wartime operations on an aircraft carrier. And I can tell you what it is. Not much. The only difference between a peacetime operation and a wartime operation is the color of ordnance you load aboard an aircraft. Other than that, you fly 24/7. Everything that can get off the deck gets off the deck and does its job. And if you have something broke, you fix it. And you don't stop until it is fixed. And then you launch 24/7. So that's basically what I know about. I know about what it's like to sit and wait. I know what it's like to go out on patrol. I know what it's like wondering where you're going to be the next day, or even if you're going to be the next day. I know those different things. I've experienced them. So as Commander-in-Chief, I know what it's like to send people. And I know they do their job, and they do their job greatly, though they prefer to be at home with their family. I know that. I also know what the job of being president would be. It's not fun and games. It's not party time. It's not, oh look, we're in the White House. It's not none of that. It's serving a nation of people, making sure that their voices are heard. It's being the leader of a society that's made up of individuals. It's being the guidance for our government to give them direction. But it is not being, oh, I'm the president. That is wrong. Because when you fall in love with the idea that you're president, you lose the sight of what your job really is. So I guess being president to me is something very serious. Extremely serious. The responsibility of finding the right people for the right positions in my cabinet. To ensure that what we do is what the American people want. To enhance our government and our country. To develop and grow our economy. To not be panic-stricken when a few people jump up and yell, scientific world catastrophe, when the truth is, it's regular cycling of the earth and its own environment. But how to prepare us to handle the changes, both physically and climate on this planet. How to enable us to care for our people when they need the government, and how to fairly and justly tax this nation so that each and every individual is not overtaxed, overburdened, but yet all are fairly and justly. Being president is not living in the White House. Being president is a very, very, very serious job. Extremely serious. And the day I have to get up and say, I am President of the United States, is the day I am not doing my job. Because remember, you are what others say you are. When you have to say it, then you are not. So I guess, to me, being President of the United States has a lot of responsibility to you. And I must remember, above all else, one thing about our government. And that is, the people are not the servants of the government. The government is the servant of its people. As President of the United States, yes, I understand I am a leader of a nation of leaders. And that's what we are. But we are not a nation of dictators. We will not dictate to other countries how they are to live within their country. That is their people's responsibility, not ours. As President of the United States,
You've got mail.
I will have to make sure that we care for our own before we turn out. As President of the United States, I have to see to it that our economy promotes growth and well-being to the American people. And above all else, I must remember, as President of the United States, a government is to serve its people, not the people to serve its government. Those are a few views I have as President. Very serious, very deep if you want to say it, very real. And as President, I will look upon it that way. There won't be parties every night in the White House because we have too much work to do. I want to thank you all for this time that you're listening to me. And remember, don't think Republican, don't think Democrat. Think American. This is JD. I need your help. So start spreading the word. Start it now. That we will put a serious man into the White House that will believe in the American people. Thank you.